Greetings, welcome back. My name is Frozen Melon, and today what I thought we'd do with the release of the new expansion is do a small little mini pack opening. Now, as far as everything else goes with this particular expansion, I know none of the cards, I don't know what they do, I don't know what the key mechanics are or things like that, so this is kind of like a learning experience. And what we're going to do, we're going to go through and maybe sort of rate some of the cards and sort of how I think they're going to be for the arena. Now, the object of this, obviously, see if I can either make a deck up, think what cards may be good, and maybe even later down the line, jumping into some of the ranked games as well on the standard ladder. So anyway, let's start opening with our first pack. So I know there is a pity timer, which means that you do get sort of your first legendary within the first 10 packs. And after that, then I think it's every 40 packs that it kind of kicks in as. So let's start off with looking at the first one here, which we got a Molocular, which is Lifesteal 3/4 for 4 mana and Infuse 4, this costs 0. And Infuse upgrades in the hand after X minions die. So in a Murloc deck, if 4 minions have died, this now costs 0. That sounds like a pretty okay mechanic. I don't know if this is going to be sort of fairly good, but for tempo plays, if you're an aggressive deck, it's not too bad, but you'll need the card draw to help support it. So that is something, maybe like a Murloc Shaman could do this quite well, maybe. We have the Double Cross. So when your opponent spends all their mana, draw 2 cards. That is actually not a bad secret. Most time people want to spend all their mana, it's an efficient play. That's hard to play around. I think that's a really good card in both senses of the way it is. Like, that's just an extra card draw for 2 mana. Now we have Dinner Performer Battlecry. Summon a random minion from your deck that you can afford to play. Okay. Now the text on this one feels a bit unusual. It would be something I'd probably have to do some play testing with. But if I play this on turn 3, do I summon a 0 cost card or do I summon a 3 cost card? I'm going to assume it's a 0 cost card because I have 0 mana. And then 1, 2, 3. So on turn 8, it plays this plus a 5-drop, which probably isn't too bad. And I could probably see some decks playing this to get like a particular card on board for 3 mana. So this could be a problem card, and I think it's something to watch out for, especially if you're looking at ranked play as sort of like a combo setter for particular types of decks that want to be able to get a big card out cheaply while still having the mana to play other stuff. So anything like 7 cost or less, going to be quite a dangerous card to watch. Another Molocular, which we've already gone through, and our rare of this pack is a Battlecry. Summon a copy of this, infuse, summon 2 copies instead. Okay, so essentially getting 3/3s for turn 4 if you've basically been trading. Quite a good Zoo Warlock card. They quite like something like this, doing a lot of trading, a lot going through. So I think, yeah, the early game, this is a good card, and it's something that you kind of want to be picking in your Warlock drafts by the looks of it. Don't know how the rest of the power level of the deck goes, but I'd probably say that it's a fairly decent card. So anyway, let's just jump into the next pack. I mean, as far as this goes, it is just sort of my opinion starting off. I said we will kind of go through it one step by step, have a look at everything. So Volatile Skeleton, Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. 2/2 deals 2 damage. Basically, it trades up. So think of it as like a 4/2 in most cases. It's going to be at least doing a trade to trade. So not a bad minion, not a great one either. I think with the random enemy tag can be dealt damage to face. So Resurrect effects, Death Rattle synergies on the card for this one. And our first golden card. Battlecry, your opponent minion costs 1 more next turn. I think this is going to be a staple in most arena decks when it comes up. Just making your opponent's minion cost 1 more might delay them another turn. Large push tempo, might start seeing sort of aggressive metas within arena. And this is a Shaman weapon. After hero attack, summon a random basic totem. So basically a hero power on a stick that does a little bit more. Yeah, that might be interesting. Not sure what to think of that. So I don't have to write that card really, unless you see other synergies. Then we got Sin Runner, Death Rattle, destroy a random enemy minion. Not too sure about this. mean, yeah, it destroys it. Most people are going to go for one fun trades, but if you've got something big on the board and you can trigger the death threat without letting this die, it does have sort of some synergy play. I say it's an okay card. Don't think it's bad. Don't think it's great. Kind of forces someone to trade into it before they play the stuff. So it's either that or they just go wide and it goes for a 2-for-1. So I think it's an okay card, maybe better than average. And then our rare. Backcry, discover a spell. If your opponent guesses your choice, they get a copy. See, this is, I think, how you should do a discover mechanic. I honestly think that is a brilliant card, very well balanced, and it's just the way you want to go about something. I like that card quite a lot. You still get your discover off, which allows for variance in gameplay, but it allows your opponents to see what the cards were. Like, I think that is the issue with discover, and I think this card itself really does kind of solve the problem with it. Like, letting your opponent see the cards that they did get through the discover mechanic is a massive difference. You may not know what they've picked, but allowing them to see the options, I think, could be an important part of the gameplay, and maybe where some of the design differences might be useful, because it allows you to play around stuff a little bit better, especially from the opponent's side. So I like this card quite a lot, and the bonus of guessing it right, getting a copy, I think is really good as well. I like that card quite a lot. I could see a lot of people playing that and just having fun with it. And for this one, we just get one rare. Not having the best of luck. Buffet Biggin. Battlecry, summon 2 Silverhand Recruits. Infuse 3, give them +2 attack and Divine Shield. Now, is this just the Silverhand Recruits, or does it give all Silverhand Recruits? I mean, one way is okay, the other way is broken. So there is a difference in there, and I would like to probably playtest that as an idea. Relic of Extinction, deal 1 damage to a random enemy minion, twice improve your future relics. So there's sort of a relic bonus here that stacks all the relics within the deck. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic, kind of like the old Jade Druid of old, which can be quite interesting. And then we got the Chatty Bartender. At the end of your turn, if you control a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Yeah. Please stop doing this with Mage. Especially Secret Mage. They don't need AoE. They just don't. They've got enough of it as it is. And now you're giving them something that's going to be great. Because they're going to have a nice block up and you can't kill them. They play this, then bang. And it's the end of their turn, so they always get it off. At the start of their turn, might have been a better, but this card's going to be broken with sort of secret decks. And we got the Scuttlebutt Ghoul, Taunt, Battlecry. If you control a secret, summon a copy of this. I think it's an okay card. I think some decks could do some fun stuff with this. Maybe Rogue could have some fun stuff with this, maybe, out of them all. Paladin, not really. And Hunter, I don't really see it. And yeah, Secret Mage just wants to be more aggressive. But some good synergy if you get it with an arena run as well. And the last card, Dispose of Evidence. Give your hero 3 attack this turn. Choose a card in your hand and shuffle it into your deck. So -2 for 3 attack. I would say that card is awful. Because you don't really want to give a card advantage. But if you're going for a late game deck anyway, it's removal plus getting rid of a card that you don't either going to be using anyway or things like that. So Constructed might do something with it, but Arena, nah, that's an awful card. You don't want to be given card advantage, especially for 0 mana as well. That's a huge downside. Mind you though, Soulfire was a thing at 0, and that had broken mechanics with it, and you just to choose what you send back, so there might be burst potential in it. And what we get then in our third pack, again, we're not getting very lucky with these. Planted Evidence, discover a spell, it costs 2 less this turn. Yay. 2 less for 1 mana. Just, it's a 3 mana play, and 4 mana plays, and okay, yeah, this is going to be a problem card. I can see it straight away. And we've got Cold Case, summon 2/2 Volatile Skeletons, gain 4 armor. And we just saw what the Volatile Skeleton did, which was deal 2 damage when they die. So that is a very interesting card for a mage, and it's a frost spell. Interesting. That could be really good. We got the Muck Plumber, all minions cost 2 more. Yeah, again, I think this could be a staple. Just playing it on turn 5, they can't do anything else. All the minions cost 2 more. And they can't play their 5-drop, they've got to play their 3-drop into it. Unless they don't have a board. So that could be another issue card. Battlecry, next secret you cost. Next secret you play cost 0. Oh, great. Another way for mage to cheap out cheaper secrets. And other classes too as well. So Rogue could have some fun synergies with this as well, which could be fairly interesting in Hunter. And we have the Sanguine Depths. Deal 1 damage to a minion and give it +1 attack. So I don't know how these work. I'm not sure how they take over sort of the cards on the screen as far as they go. So it's going to be interesting to kind of have a look at this as well. But yeah, it seems interesting enough. I don't know how long it sticks around for, if it's destroyed or if it's always around, or it kind of does it per turn. So I'm going to have to look at these sort of cards and see what happens with them. But it's interesting. So learning about all these different new mechanics, this is what I love about the card games, the ideas they come up with for all sorts of reasons. I've got the Private Eye here, Battlecry, cast a secret from your deck, combo, cast 2 instead. That's a pretty good card. Basically it's a card draw that always draws a 2-mana card, and then if you've got more card draw on top of that, you're going to be laughing. And if you combo this with a coin, or like a 0-cost spell, or a 1-cost spell, it's 2 cards from your deck. It's a really good constructed tool for a kind of secret rogue deck, which seems to might be pushing that sort of archetype at the moment with secrets. Shadow Waltz, summon a 3/5 Shadow with Taunt. If a minion died this turn, summon another one. This is a great trading tool. Like, you just traded, you've killed something else. Even if it's your own minion, you get an extra 3/5 for 5 mana. You get 2 of them. This is a really good tempo play. I think this is going to be another one, and the Taunt is what pretty tops it off. Stoneborn General, Rush, Death Rattle, summon a 8/8 Gravewing with Rush. The top big cards you want in Arena, folks. I think that is pretty much exactly what that is. It is just the new king of Arena, in my opinion. That is, yeah, a broken card. You get 10 mana, you play that, it goes 1 for 1, and then you still got another 8/8 that can also trade in. Like, it's going to be a game winner. It's going to be a problem card as well if you don't kill it straight away. And we've already seen the Anonymous Informant. In our rare this time round, the Knight's Cloak Sanctum, freeze a minion, summon a 2/2 Volatile Skeleton. So, Mage getting a lot with Volatile Skeletons. Interesting. That is interesting. Although we don't have any epics at the moment, and I'm starting to worry about my luck because it's terrible. Okay, oh there we go. So we've got a good pack here, folks. Let's see what we get first. So Cold Case we've already seen, and now we have the Death Blossom Womper, which is Battlecry, draw a Death Rattle minion, and gain its Death Rattle. Okay. Not too sure how that is. My head is ticking. Death Rattle synergies, they're not a real big thing for Druid, so have to see if there are any interesting Death Rattles from this kind of expansion for this particular one. Our rare in this pack is the Spirit Poacher. Battlecry, summon a random dormant Wild Seed. Don't know what a Wild Seed is, so that is going to be interesting. But I assume when it comes back up, it probably waits a few turns and then is playable. We have now is transform any minions into ones that cost 1 less, and for any minions that cost 1 more. So this is basically your new, what was it? The sort of Plague of Murlocs one card that just kind of transferred everything into a Murloc. Like that's sort of the Shaman equivalent now. It's a pretty good card. I can see the Arena running away with that. And my legendary is going to be the Baroness Vasashi. I don't know how you pronounce that. Probably butchered it. So if this would transform into a minion, summon that minion instead. I can see some problem cards coming in this late game, but yeah, no. I think, yeah, if you've got some transformation effects that can occur on this card, and you really can kind of run away with a game with this sort of deck, because yeah, you're just going to keep that in there, and it's a Naga, so you're going to have those sort of synergies. Let's jump into the next one then. So that was probably our big pack. You never know, maybe we'll get a bit more lucky with some other ones. We've already seen the Planted Evidence, Bog Beast, Taunt, 6 mana, Death Rattle, summon a 2/4 Muckmare with Taunt. Okay, so kind of like the old Sludge Belcher, but slightly better. Iffy on my opinion, that one. It could be good, could be bad. Sticky Situation, Secret, after your opponent casts a spell, summon a 3/4 Spider with Stealth. That is pretty good. As that goes, the extra health is going to be a massive benefit. Less attack isn't great, but it does remind you of basically the Hunter Secret that does the same thing, which I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. But that summons a 4/2, doesn't it? Jungle Panther. And then you get Treasure of Staff, Battlecry, give your minions in your hand +1 health. Okay, so hand buffing. It's back in the game. That is interesting. Could do a Paladin deck or something like that. Straight away I can jump into Paladin for that. And then Spirit Poacher again. Second copy. Kind of annoying that we're starting to get second copies of the rares already. I want one of everything really. At least I can kind of show off some of the cards and what I think of them. In this case we're going to get rares again. The Bibliomite. Battlecry, choose a card in your hand and shuffle it into your deck. Temple Loss, 2 mana, 4/4. I don't think it's that great. Like, at best, this would probably go for your opponent's 2-drop and 3-drop, and you have to give up 2 cards for it. So it basically goes 1 for 1. Unless there's a mechanic that benefits you from shuffling cards back in your deck, I don't see how this card is very good. Tempo-wise, it's great, but you lose too much in the value game, and cards early in these sort of games are quite important. Red Herring, Taunt. Your non-red herring minions have stealth. Interesting. So they just cannot target anything else apart from this with spells. And they have to hack into this, so they got minions. Another problem card. That's all I'm going to say. This could be causing problems, especially if you manage to give this stealth in any way, shape or form. Or untargetable, or other things like that as well. Oh, there can be some fun decks coming out. Again, we've seen the Scuttlebutts as well. Masked Revealer? I don't know how to pronounce that. And Rush, Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 copy of another minion from your deck. At 6 mana, probably semi-okay. It has Rush, but yeah, the 2/2 that comes out of it has to be really good. Otherwise, you don't really get much value, but otherwise, it's a 6/6 for 6, with maybe some positive upside. It's Death Rattle synergy as well, so who knows. My rare this time around is Party Favorite Totem. In return, summon a random basic totem, and infuse 2, summon 2 instead. Ongoing, infuse. That is an interesting totem. I like the difference. The infuse can be triggered earlier on as well, so who knows what's going to happen with that. Now, next up. Okay, we got a bit of luck. That is great. I like to see it. That's not a bad pack. 2 rares and legendary. Got Frenzied Fang. Summon 2 1/1 bats. Infuse. Give them +1/+2. So 2 mana. Summon 3 3s. Token Hunter deck could be on the cards for that one. I think that's quite a good card, especially the late game gives you sort of more burst potential. Tempo plays. Criminal lineup. Choose a friendly minion. Summon 3 copies of it. Overload 2. This is going to be a problem card with Shaman in Arena. I can see it straight away. Like, you've just played a 7 mana card, it still lives next turn, bang, 3 extra copies of it. I don't care about my next turn. Like, I've just got massive tempo play for that, so this is going to be a slight issue, especially it being a rare, depending on how the bucket system works with it. Now, when you play or discard this card, destroy a random enemy minion, Warlock, they like to discard stuff, at least then it goes 1 for 1, and the fact you can still play it, yeah, I think it's a good card. Basically, it is a deadly shot that has an upside if you discard it. You can play it for 0. Plot of Sin, summon 2/2 Treants, infuse, summon 2 5/5 Ancients instead. So, Token Druid back in the meta? Maybe? I'd like to think that. I said it's not a bad card. Essentially, it is. I think a card like this already exists that summons 2/2/2s. Having the extra infuse 5 gives you a bonus upside for why you're playing a good Token Druid deck in the first place. And my legendary on this one is Taunt, Death Roll, draw a minion and reduce its cost by 8. Now I see the synergy. I've got the card that causes the synergy. Yeah, I think Druid's got a Death Rattle deck that could be a problem. Maybe. Don't know. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, the Death Rattle, I don't know, is it really that good? I can copy this card as well, but then I get a card, I can play it next turn. This has to die first. They all have taunt. Taunt drawing machine, maybe? Who knows? But yeah, another legendary. City of the Fey Court. Not bad. My luck is above average, so that is quite nice today. I thought I was going to have some sort of bad luck, and then we got another epic. So we got the light, it burns. Deal damage to a minion equal to its attack. Yeah, that's quite nice. So it's some more removal card, cool card straight away. So yeah, I said this could be quite a good spell, especially in arena as well, and that's sort of been constructed. Crude Caretaker, Backrise, summon a 3/5 elemental with taunt. It's an okay card as far as it goes. Like, you can play it as a Battlecry. You have the option to then sort of transform this. Yeah, I mean, it's a Ascension Shieldmaster plus. You know, it also protects the 1/1. Like, it protects itself, which is quite nice. You don't really get that often, especially in board-wide decks. Battlecry, draw a card, infuse, draw 3. Card drawing engine for a token deck. Absolutely fine. I think, yeah, this is something where I'm literally trying to build a token druid deck in my head straight away. With the infuse, with generating tokens, getting bigger bodies on board. I'm going to have some fun. Summon 2 1/1 spirits, improve your future relics. Again, this is the Relic Demon Hunter deck, which I think is going to be something that would be interesting to play as well. So when I ever play cards, I always like thematic cards that kind of just do thing, the whole deck revolves around that one thing that deck does. So like improvement, that's why I kind of like, you know, admittedly, with Jade Druid being so good at one point, I quite liked more like Jade Shaman, and especially when you have the Battlecry synergy as well to double your Battlecries. I just thought I was absolutely loved that sort of deck when you really got it going. And Vengeful Visage. Secret, after an enemy minion attacks your hero, summon a copy of it to attack the enemy hero. Interesting. So this itself could win games. That itself is a problem. But the fact that they take the damage, plus you've still got the minion, and they have to kill that minion, or they end up then probably losing the game. Like I said, late game, you play this, you take 8, you get an 8 attack on them, plus next turn, bang, so that's 16 damage. Like, this is a really good card for any form in Arena. I think it might be a high pick for sort of late game focused decks or things like that as well. But again, it's secret, can be played around, something to watch out for. You know, make sure you're going to be attacking your lower attack minions first, and then make sure you've also got answers if you haven't. Oh, another epic. So we have here Chatty Bartender. Yeah, we've seen that already. And then, yeah, we've seen the General. We've seen the Bug Beast. And our rare is Relic of Phantasms. Again, interesting. And my epic card, Vengeful Visage. Great, all cards I already have. I'm learning so much about this expansion, it's brilliant. So let's start this off. Sticky Situation, we've already seen. Roosting Gargoyle, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +2 attack. So, yeah. Our friendly beast though, that's the issue. Beast. And this is not a beast. It's okay. Like, maybe Hunter could do something with that, or even Druid, they got some beasts. Density Theft. Discover a copy of a card from your opponent's hand and deck. Yeah, that is a pretty good card. That is a combo stealer. Well, you know, combo copier. Like that, it's still, it's draw 2 and you're drawing for your opponent, which you're hoping they have good cards. It's a good card. Stoneborn Accuser, infuse 5, gain Battlecry, deal 5 damage. It's a late game finisher, something to watch out for, token decks, or just tempo based decks as well. I think it's okay. It's average, but it's got to be in your hand to trigger it, and 5 is quite a lot, unless you've got a lot of minions on board, so that's something to watch out for. And the Suspicious Alchemist, which we've already seen, and I think that is just a really good designed card anyway. Don't think the card is amazing. I think it's perfectly well balanced, but I just love the thematics of it as well. It is just really well designed in my opinion. Another epic. Ooh, look at this. So, Muckborn Servant, taunt, Battlecry, discover a Paladin card. Card draw, taunt, what more can you ask for? Brilliant card. Yeah, that's quite an easy pickup in any deck that you see it in for Arena. A Relic of Extinction we've already talked about. Again, getting a lot of these stacked can be pretty good in Arena and could cause massive problems later. Sinrunner, we've already seen. Sunrunner. My brain is having a moment. And Roosting Gargoyle, again, we've already talked about that card. Our epic for this one is Mysterious Visitor. Battlecry, reduce the cost of cards copied from your opponent by 2. Now, I assume that's cards you've already generated, not cards that you will generate, because it means a massive difference. Because it says cards you copied, and I don't think this is an aura effect where it kind of lasts the entire game afterwards. So, early game wise, not really going to have that much of an impact. It is a card, I will say that much, probably below average. Combo wise, if you get some good cards, good tempo on the board, generate a good amount of cards, like it can be causing a good amount of problems. But other than that, in Arena, probably it's just a card to play, so it might be worth picking up if you do have the synergy. So what we've got now on this one, just the rare. We've already done the Chisel, done the Red Herring. Imbued Axe, after your hero attacks, give your damage minions +1/+1. Infuse 3, give them +2/+2 instead. Yeah, that's a pretty good card. Maybe your minions has damage, but if you can damage them, then yeah, that is a really good card. It can really cause some problem trades. Again, at Dreadstaff, yeah, I mean it's a 1-mana card. At least it's well balanced, and you know can be having some good synergies later down the line. And Steam Cleaner, destroy all cards in both players' decks that didn't start there. Now, I just want to point out, does this destroy copies of cards that didn't start there? Or do the copies still remain? Little bit of clarity. Again, some testing, or someone will find the answer with a bit of research. But this probably ruins a good amount of decks if it just destroys every copy. Okay? If it doesn't destroy the copies, then yeah, okay, it just destroys any generated card effects, things like that as well. But if it destroys the copies as well, I think it's going to be a good counter to a lot of other decks that want to play for that sort of late game value as well. So next up, what have we got here? So creepy painting, after another minion dies, become a copy of it. Interesting. Play this, trade into something, if it's your minion, you get a copy of it. Has some neat synergies, I think it's something to kind of watch out and play around. Because if someone gets a big minion on board, play this, trade into it, get another copy of that big minion. It's got death rattle, more problems. Anima Extractor, whenever a friendly minion takes damage, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. So this is sort of your armor vendor plus, in some ways, just giving that to minions. Again, creep painting we've already got. And Flustered Librarian has +1 attack for each imp you control. So they just destroy the imps first. It's an okay card that has some upside. I don't think it's like anything overpowered or anything else, and you need synergy to make it work, so it's a 1-mana card. It's just a 1-mana card. And we have Serrated Bone Spike, deal 3 damage to a minion. If it dies, your next card this turn costs 2 less. What rogue needed more? Discounting cards. That is exactly what they need. It's a good card. It's a Wrath plus. Like, you know, anything that is 2 mana, deal 3 damage, is a spell, does something else. So you really can't complain about it these days. They are just good cards. We have another Epic. That's kind of nice. Natural Causes, deal 2 damage, summon a 2/2 Treant. Yeah. I mean, again, it deal 2 damage, summon something. It's a 2/2 that deals 2 damage instantly. Like, you can't do that, and it works in a sort of a Spell Druid deck instead, as well as a Token Druid style one as well. Again, Anima Extractor we talked about. The light it burns, yeah, really good card. Ooh, set the Epic first this time around, out of order. But Sinful Brand enemy minion, whenever it takes damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Interesting. Don't know how that's going to work. Could be broken, could be absolutely useless. Only if I have some way to make a card never die that is not immune. It has to be an enemy minion. Interesting. And Cathedral of Atonement, give a minion a +2/+1 and draw a card. Yeah, again, I still don't know how to rate these cards because I don't know what their effects are. I don't know if it happens every turn when it comes to play, what the thing is, or if you can use like once per turn, like a hero power. But interesting. I'll have to see. Testing is needed. I think a lot of testing will be needed with some of these cards. And we have our Epic. No Epic this time around. Identity Theft, we've already talked about. I think it's just a really good card. Stonebound Gorgon? No? Gargon? No, let's pronounce that again. My pronunciation is also terrible, especially in English, my normal language. Rush, Infuse 3, also damage minions to wherever this attacks. Okay, so I guess it's an okay card. It's a rush card. It's going to have impact on the board when it comes to play. Again, it just has a bonus if you can infuse it, which you might be able to by turn 3. Gets a trade in, but probably doesn't go for a 2-for-1 unless it's more later. You're hoping to have small stuff on board. Simple Totem, at the end of your turn, gain +1 health. Huh. A totem that buffs itself, but only in the health department. I like this card, it's interesting. Because it didn't do anything, but it's something to worry about, because what are they going to do with that totem if it has too much health? And another version of it as well. And Suffocating Shadows, yeah, I think this is a really good card for this discard Warlock. And the last pack that I've got here, for the moment anyway, until we win ourselves some arena runs, which we'll jump right straight into after this to start off with. We have Infuse, yeah, we've already seen this, Stoneborn Accuser. Maze Guide, Battlecry, summon a random 2-cost minion. Interesting. Token decks may like it. Random 2-cost could be a problem. Doomsayers are all the rage with these cards, so interesting. We have Magnifying Glaive. After your attacks, draw cards until you have 3. Here we go. So this is sort of your card draw that you want to keep in your hand for the Demon Hunter class. And Sinful Sous Chef. Add 2 Silverhand Recruits to your hand. Okay, so we're getting some Silverhand Recruit synergy as well. The Dude Paladin lives. And Party Favorite Totem. That's nice. I quite like that card as well. It's going to be an interesting Shaman deck to build. Is Totem Shaman, the return. But anyway, that is all the cards. That's sort of my original thoughts on the cards. I think, yeah, there's some decent cards in there. New mechanics and all that to have a look at. I think some playtesting is probably needed for the moment as well. And I said I probably would start jumping into the arena mode again and just seeing how things go and progress until I can get a deck design that I'd be happy with, and maybe start doing some ladder climbing in the standard format on the channel as well. But anyway, if you do enjoy the video, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.